Hello and welcome back to the channel. Today we have round 2 from the 2025 Leviathan Cup that took place in Louisville, Kentucky. This tournament was under the Type 0 Magic tournament, and another thing that I didn't know for round 1, Mind Twist was also banned from this tournament. So they're calling it Gentleman's Rules Light. So here's the Type 0 Magic rules. Strip Mine's restricted. So strip mine's restricted. There's no mind twist. Library's restricted, of course. But they did allow ancestral recall as well at this tournament. The biggest change, or the biggest thing that sticks out for this type of magic is blocking creatures that become tapped do not deal any combat damage. Pretty big deal. So losing not being able to play with 4 strips sucks for library, but at least they brought up a good answer for factory. Factory being the most played card in old school magic. Blocking creatures that become tapped do not deal combat damage, so you cannot. It can pump itself all at once, but it's not going to kill anything. Very cool rule. All right, and we have Brian T with this deck. I'm going to call it. It's not blue red or red blue black. It's like black blue red. I mean, it's not even Troll Disco because there's no discs, right? Oh, there's one disc. Troll Disco Lite. Um, it's a pretty cool build. I really like it. The 4 hippies. Huge fan of hippies. Huge fan of hippies. Played them since I was a little kid. 4 trolls, the one Shivan, Swamp King. So 10 creatures total, and then of course the 4 factories. Then Dark Rits to help obviously get all those threats out. 4 hymns, 3 counters, 3 bolts. So only 3 bolts, which is surprising. With a deck, when a deck has this much red, you'd assume they'd run 4, but not in this version. And then of course the standard blue restricted cards, a tutor, and a fireball. 3 Moxen for the 3 colors he's playing. 1 disc, like I said, Soul Ring, Chaos Orb, Lotus. The mana's pretty cool. 4 Badlands, 3 Volks, 3 Seas. Some sweet collectors or international edition basics. Only 1 Cobb. Maybe worried about the damage. Or maybe more worried about Blood Moon. But with this much red, does Blood Moon really hurt you? Like this 1 mountain? Maybe make that a 2nd Cobb. And then Sideboard. Sideboard's interesting. It looks like for this matchup, because Ben's rocked in the deck, it looks like for this matchup, Brian's going to want to bring in like Gloom, Shatter, Red Elemental Blasts. But it's a pretty good sideboard. I like maybe even the book too. Why else would you have the book in there? Yeah, it's I feel like it's a really well-rounded sideboard. You got the control magics for like Armageddon, the Earthquakes for the weenie decks, Gloom for Mirror or for the deck in the white decks. Shatter's pretty useful. Terror can be good too against like Raven aggro. I think it could be situationally good against like blue-white flyers, right? Red elementals and blue elementals. All right, so Brian, I actually really like this deck list. I don't think I've ever seen one quite like it or exactly like it. It's a Troll Disco, but it's not. It's so much more. And I love the throwback to Fun Magic with the loaded or with the Dark Rits, the hymns, and the hippies. I played a lot of tournaments with Mono Black back in the day. And then we have Ben. Ben with the deck. So remember, no mind twist, but overall, this is a pretty cool standard version of the deck. 2 Wrath main though, 1 Abyss, 2 Wraths. This meta must be very aggressive for him to have that kind of build. The Abyss, the four swords, standard, four counters, nothing crazy here. Four artifact control. I like running five, four works. We keep going on the next column. Pretty straightforward. One thing on column one though, in the Maze of Ith, I love Maze of Ith in a one strip format, not as much in a four strip, so it's a perfect fit here. Yeah, you're gonna run your sweet four and black border tutor, time warp recall, all that fun stuff. No, by the way, there's no proxies at this event, so this is all unlimited greatness here that you're seeing with this power, not proxy. Three tomes, one tower. I'm a big fan of Ivory Tower. If you guys have ever seen photos of my deck, I have an awesome altar of an Ivory Tower, but man, the last few tournaments, it hasn't been doing as much for me as I feel like it should. It feels almost like a win more card. However, it literally won me games previously, so I get the one Ivory Tower main. I played Summer Derby or Winter Derby, excuse me, with one main, I believe. The Scepter, I guess normally he'd have a Black Lotus or excuse me, he normally would have a Mind Twist where the Scepter sits, would be my guess. Two stones, the five Moxen and the Soul Ring and the Lotus, Aloha, three three C, two Volks, four Tundras, three Cobs, one Strip, four Factories, two Basics. What I've started dabbling with in the deck for me, as I now am trying to main run Bolt's main, as I can see he's got Bolt in his board, as I've been using one Plateau, which seems to be playing okay. I realize Bolts can be very situational, but man, they're so good against that first turn Pixie, first turn Savannah line that's going to hit you for 10 eventually or 8. I would almost rather have a bolt over the over the maze and a bolt over the tower. But you know your meta dude. Ben knows what he's doing. You'll see he's in quite a few of these games in this tournament because it's table one. And, um, he's pretty good with the deck, honestly. Only makes a few players. Makes less than me, I promise you. A sideboard, like I said, two bolts, two divine offerings. I've been running more divine offerings main than disenchant at this point because of the life gain I need to do against all this burn and aggro. Two red elemental blast, two blue elemental blast, two Sarahs, one disenchant. So he has three artifact control on the board. Four main. Okay, that makes sense because you're going to want to run at least seven total, right? In my opinion, seven. Scepter for mirror match, book for mirror match, circle protection red because it's awesome and it's signed. I don't know when I would ever, unless it's mono red, I don't think you run circle protection red, right? You only bring it in against mono red, or do you bring it in against 12 bolt? Because if they have 4 bolt, I guess if they have, you probably bring it in against like blue red burn, right? Counter burn or something, because they'll have 4 bolts, 4 chain. Maybe if they have like orcs, and if they have a togs. I feel like game two though, those decks take 4 chains out, bring other stuff in. So now your circle protection red is for like 4 bolts and a togs if you're lucky orcs. I don't know. Probably need to play test it more. And then one crypt. No, there's no twister main, no twister in board. I also play that way. Some people love running twister. Like Fluffy's like, you gotta run twister. Your cards are more broken. You swords their shit. They can't get reshuffled in. Um, Too situational for me. But the crypt is good for obviously like reanimator decks. But also in the mirror, if they're running twister or if they try to recall, gone. Okay, I think that's it for these two decks. Back to type 1. Okay, so just a reminder, blocking creatures that become tapped do not deal combat damage. Mind Twist is banned in this tournament. No proxies. Round 2, Leviathan Cup. Here we go. Okay, on the left we have Brian J. Remember with that Troll Disco Lite, or whatever we should call it. On the right we have Ben. Looks like we had some mulligan here. Brian's going first. Bulk pass. Ben with a Tundra pass. I'm assuming they already know what each other's plan. Yeah, Sorb, I like that play. Tutor. All right, so Ben's gonna go get a ancestor recall, I'm assuming. Maybe he's getting a Lotus or something. Okay. All right, Brian will pass. Untap, excuse me. We do have some reflection. Okay, there's. Oh, thank you for moving that. So that was a bad line. So he had a bad line swamp. Volcanic, he's got a hippie in play. Ben's got to answer that right effing now. He has to answer it right now. Yep, Chaos Orb. Got to hit this flip. You have to hit this flip. Nailed it. Didn't look like a foot, but he nailed it. He got it for sure. This angle throws me off. I'm going to be honest with you guys. Hippie's so powerful against the deck. So powerful in the format. Dark Rit. Swamp King. Isn't he like a 5/5 Swamp Walker? Might have regeneration. Regeneration doesn't matter in this deck though. Okay, now or in this matchup because the swords. Ben finally got his ancestral off. Takes another damage. Could play Fellware and then swords the Swamp King. So far Ben's been 1 for 1ing, which is good news for Brian. Now he's got a yeah, tap it correctly. Now he's got a troll in hand. Fair play. Ben with another answer because it gets swords. That's the big thing. Regrowing ancestral. Oh my god. That's the big thing with ancestral. Put him so far ahead. Now he's drawing 6 extra cards with ancestral because of the regrowth. I don't know if Brian can catch up on this, especially with no mind twist. This is one of the reasons why I honestly think you need to be able to run mind twist. Restricted mind twist is fine, in my opinion. I understand though. It can literally end a game on its own. Jeez Louise. Now Scepter's going. With Scepter on the stack, he's going to attempt to. Ooh, and he misses. Okay, so he attempted Chaos Orb. He just lost his Brain Geyser. He really needed that Brain Geyser to try to recover. And now he has to play a card every turn. And Mana Drain the Scepter. Or Mana Drain the Tutor. I wonder what he could have got that you'd be scared of. I think I would have let him Tutor. Even if he gets a Strip Mine, who cares? Either way, this game's locked down. Ben's got Book Online and he's got a Scepter in play. And you forgot to play the card. Oh, he couldn't because his counterspell. Yeah, this game is so over. Yep, scooped him up. Good call, Brian. I fully agree with that decision. So as we know, Brian's gonna want to bring in Shatters, Glooms, Book, Red Elemental Blast. Ben's gonna bring in Sarah's and Blue Elemental Blast, I think. I don't know what else I'd bring in. I mean, what would you guys be bringing in here? In this matchup, I think, yeah, I think you bring in Sarah's and Blue. Okay, here we go. I see. Looks like Brian's looking at his opening 7. We can kind of see his hand, which is nice to see. Game 2 of round 2 of the Leviathan Cup with the greatest poster ever made. Oh, mulligan to 6 for Brian. Oh, good turn 1. Really wish he could have played a. Ooh, there's this sort of strip. I don't know if I would have stripped that. Really wish he could have like landed a threat there, but that's okay. In fact, he has no black, no red now. So that strip actually was pretty good. Ben knows his matchup better than I. Leave the kids over there. Okay. All right, Brian draws. Now he strips to get him off double blue. Man, he's got a ripping. Or flipping Shatter in hand and a control. He brought in a control magic. I don't know if I agree with that play. I like that he's got the Felwar tap going. I can't make mana. He needs that red mana. So Brian needs the red mana to shatter that flipping that Felwar stone because he just put him on double blue. I don't know if I would have played that island. What's he gonna control magic? He doesn't have a counterspell in hand that I see. Does he? Oh, he does have a counterspell. Yeah, he wanted the double blue. Activate factory twice, swing. Okay, I think I see it's I think I see a counterspell in hand. Ben's got the double blue, which is huge. Brian needs red extremely bad right now. So I take out the mocks. No, here we go. He missed. Oh well. So he was trying to get him off double blue as well. Ben missing his land drop. And then the counter in the tutor. Wow. So Ben knew that Brian could feel that Brian had the counter. Just try to get rid of it and still risk the tutor. I'd like to play though. Continues to push with the factory. Desperately needs red. Oh, there's another factory, and now we have a book. Desperately needs red. He needs to shatter that book right now. I think that's a plateau. That's a volcanic, excuse me. Plateau. There ain't no white in the deck. Yeah, so shatter the book while he's tapped out and activate factory. No, no, no. Shatter the book while he's tapped out. Dang it. He spent an extra mana he didn't have to. Maze of Ith is in play. So now this maze is looking pretty good because as you guys might remember, Brian stripped early. Didn't he? Yeah, he did. He stripped the Underground Sea. In single strip, I feel like you need to keep that strip for Alola or something like this. If I understand what Brian was trying to do, he's trying to keep him off that double blue so he could do what he needed. Oh, how do you get him to tap out so he can recall? Don't. Hmm. If you, yeah, you gotta get him to tap out somehow to do it on his upkeep. Or do it, excuse me, at the end of his turn, or else you have to do it on his upkeep. Okay, so now he's short of black. He can't play Hippie. I think he Ancestral response. At the end of turn, still Ancestral. He's down to, no, he had no counter, right? No, he did have a counter. Never mind. He had blue mana up. This is good. Make him counter this. Ben's being smart though. He's like, bolt it. I don't care. How do you get him to tap out? And how do you get a second black? Okay, he did on the upkeep. I realize he risks it for the biscuit. I would have rather waited until I had double black, but I realize, or excuse me, Brian might be realizing the game's slipping away, so he needs to start getting pressure on Ben. The longer the game goes, the better it is for the deck player. That was a good shatter. Now he's got a counter spell. Well, imagine if he would have waited an extra 2 turns. He has an unusable control magic in his hand, a counter spell. Oh, it's a twister. I wasn't control magic. I'm an idiot. No, 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 don't. I think I would have let him disenchant. So Brian countered the disenchant on Soul Ring. But now he's in a draw 7. He'll only have 1 land on tap, which is Evolve. He hasn't played his land yet, but he draws a Hippie and a bad land. He can't even play Hippie right now. Oh man, I think I would have let him shatter my Soul Ring. Let's see. He might play out for Brian though. Brian knows his deck a hell of a lot better than I do. Oh, that's good. So he plays a Mox. He's got 2 red and a blue available, or 1 red and then either red or blue available, I should say. He's gonna shatter. Yes, I like that. And he did get the strip mine back in his deck too. There's Loa. Oh my God, you better hope you get strip mine in this single strip format. You do have him off double blue though, so you can do what you need to do. Okay. You have no answers for Abyss unless you can land a Chaos Orb. So your creature, your method of winning with creatures is gone. Ben only has one Abyss too in this deck. Man, that draw seven. That's the scary thing about draw sevens. He's got a Loa that's either online or will be online, and he's got an Abyss, so there's no pressure. It's online. And he just drew a strip. Don't waste the strip though if you play it. Use it for the other man's Loa. Okay. I think I see a tutor in his hand. In Brian's hand. I think Brian's has a tutor. Somehow. He's got to get at least a counter in hand. Or a red blast. Okay, there's a red blast. Red blast is only good though. You might have two red blasts. Red blast is only good for blue spells, not disenchants. Okay. It needs to find a way to land Chaos Orb and make sure it resolves and it gets activated and lands on the Abyss. What is that in play? I can't tell. We got some glare on Brian's side here. Oh, Loa. Oh, for Hippie? Or, I'm sorry, I said Loa, I meant Lotus. Plays a Hippie, he's got one black floating. Trying to draw out a counter so he can red elemental blast. But swords, maybe flash counter would be good in Brian's sideboard. Flash counter is also very situational, but it's good for disenchants, counters, and swords. It's pretty good against the deck. City in a bottle? No. I was like, I didn't know the city bottle. That's a troll. And now I'm gonna hymn you. And then I'm gonna red elemental blast your counter. Let's fucking go, Brian. What a play. What a play. The hymn resolves. The hymn resolves. He gets a tutor, and I didn't see the other card because I was so fucking happy. I was pumping my fists in the air. What a land. So bend off Loa, I believe, for a turn. The Abyss is gonna hurt. Abyss is gonna hurt, though. He's gotta play a creature every turn. What do you do if you're Ben? Oh, he's playing cards. He's getting lower because of Hippie. He's playing lower. Wow. Because he's worried about Hippie. Okay, Hippie for two. But there's a Maze of Ith in play. So Hippie doesn't hit. Hippie still dies next turn. There's no way. I don't see how Brian could possibly win this game. That was an awesome turn, but the Abyss is just broken. Not broken, but great in this matchup. He's gonna mana drain that, slams it on the table. Hope he's got a fireball. Discards a dark writ, loses his hippie, does not have, and scoops him up. Yeah, that's game. That Abyss is, there's no way for Brian to handle with his deck outside of Chaos Orb. It's unfortunate. Red Elemental Blast was cool. That one turn was fun where he landed two creatures, went for him, counters him, Red Elemental Blast. Yeah, so he brought in Shatters, Red Elemental Blast, probably a book, I'm assuming. Either way, it was a good matchup. Stay tuned for round three. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. Thank you.